Aviation expert Guy Leitch joins us for more as we expand on the conversation. A very good evening to you, Guy. Thank you for your time. We've just looked and listened to some good news, a glimmer of hope there, given SAA's history of financial struggles. How sustainable is this profit that we've learnt of in the long run?
Yeah, hi, good evening, and nice to be with you. Well, yeah, I think that we can't downplay the 230 million rand that SAA declared as a profit. And bear in mind that it's 2023 that's declared the profit. We haven't yet seen results for 2024. And also just a word of caution, we don't know that the 2023 results that they've announced have even been audited. So there's still a little bit of doubt up in the air there, but well done to SAA. It has managed to turn the first profit in 12 years or so. And I think that Prof. Lamola and his team are indeed, as he says, implementing a cautious strategy. They're not rushing into things. And I'm expecting them to declare a profit this year as well. So that's good. I think that the whole objective of the study needs to be seen in terms of the broader discussion around whether South Africa should have a state-owned airline. And let me just state up front that I'm relatively agnostic on the subject. There are very good reasons or cases to be made as to why a country should have a state-owned airline.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that in terms of the results produced by the Oxford Economics study. Let me also just point out that Oxford Economics is well respected. There's no significant questions about its methodology or its findings. These are a build-out of findings that were initially released or created by a study back in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, and that were updated in 2019, largely done for IATA. So the methodology, the quality of the information is good.
Okay, well, that's good to know. The results also speak about how SAA is crucial to the local economy. I mean, as you look at that and the ripple effect that comes with it, why is that such an important focal point?
Yeah, well, actually, that statement's not exactly true. The SAA is not crucial to the local economy. Airline connectivity is. So, yeah, it's often been argued by those full free marketeers, for instance, that the same service could be provided by other airlines, by Emirates, by British Airways, by Lufthansa.
Yeah.
They would also be providing the same level of connectivity or even more so, and that's creating the downstream jobs that come from the indirect benefits, particularly those in, for instance, tourism. But good air connectivity easily adds between 1% and 2% to gross domestic product. Those are, again, well-known statistics or well-known multiplier effects. So, yes, an airline is absolutely essential, and there are good reasons to have a local airline doing that. One of the key reasons, which hasn't been mentioned, is that it keeps the revenue generated for the sale of tickets largely local, largely within South Africa, rather than being exported to, say, the UAE. And yes, it creates jobs, and yes, it creates development opportunities, and yes, the state can use the airline to implement a broader political strategy, most notably its BRICS connections. So, for instance, we're already flying to Brazil. It's not incomprehensible that we'll soon start flying to India and maybe even back to China, all as part and parcel of building out our BRICS connectivity. This stuff can be shown or to be profitable for the country, even if it's not profitable for the airline.
We know that SAA is still looking for a partner to help it gain its lost market share. Where is the opportunity, and what kind of preparation is needed here to ensure that there is some sort of alignment?
Yeah, SAA claims it's looking for a partner, a strategic equity partner. I'm still not convinced of that. I think that once SAA had found its feet after the business rescue process, the need to find a strategic equity partner fell away. We've seen statements from SAA, from Prof. Lamola, that they can go to the banks to get the money. They can use their property assets, about 6 billion rands worth, as collateral, and increasingly they can use a positive trading history as collateral, because they do need a big capital injection if they are going to start competing internationally, because they've got to get urgently going on a fleet renewal program with modern long-haul airliners of the ilk of Airbus AC-50s that they operated shortly before they went into business rescue. But those aircraft cost around about 5 to 6 billion rand each. So it's a massive cash injection, even if they were just going to lease them. They also argued for a strategic equity partner to get skills into the airline. Again, the airline is doing a pretty good job of attracting the right sort of skills. So my view is that government is in fact very happy to continue to own the airline 100%, and that's one of the reasons why it motivated and presumably paid a lot for this Oxford economic study.
So you speak about the foreseeable future, the need for a capital injection. We've just applauded SAA, well, cautiously so, for the profit. How do we make sense of this? Does it mean that now that SAA has recorded a profit, I mean, your expectations are high for the financial year of 2024, is this an indication that perhaps SAA will be standing on its own feet, no more bailouts from National Treasury like we've seen in the past?
Well, that's what we have to hope for. Obviously, there are black swan events, and Prof. Lamola in his introduction mentioned that he's building up a war chest of or reserve funds, if you like, especially for those moments. But we need to continue to remind ourselves as taxpayers that Pravin Gordhan and indeed government has consistently said that there will be no more bailouts for SAA. And as I said, I do have to give the board and SAA management credit, because they seem to have really taken that message to heart. They are running conservatively. And the big question, though, is, maybe no bailouts, but will government start guaranteeing loans for aircraft? That should also not happen, because it does unfairly tilt the playing fields against the other operators, because government will then provide cheaper money. But I'm optimistic that SAA will be able to start leasing the aircraft it needs in the next couple of years.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening, leaving that conversation there. Aviation expert Guy Leitch giving us some indication of the dynamics around SAA.